Welcome back, Crypto Crew. While Bitcoin is still in an indecisive, mood or actually formation, there is one chart that we're extremely interested in and that we're going to pull up today. It's a pattern that has quietly made people millions, not on hype, not on moon boy predictions, a simple rule. And I'm going to show you that chart and tell you what the simple rule is. On the monthly chart, when Bitcoin touches the 100 EMA and holds it, history says the next phase of a cycle begins. Happened twice. It actually happened a few times. Happened in 2015, happened in 2019. It happened again in 2020 before the run to 69,000. And now Bitcoin's following the same exact playbook, which means this might not be just a small bounce. This may be another huge Bitcoin hodl area. So we're going to be breaking all that down for you. We also have the opposite side of the chart that we have to look at. But right now, Bitcoin itself trading right around 70,000 like the last few days. And welcome back, Crypto Crew. It is your boy Tom here bringing you the hottest in Bitcoin and crypto action. If you like what you see, give us a like. Make sure you hit subscribe if you have not already. And make sure you come on over to X and follow us on X, where we talk about Bitcoin, crypto all day, every day, because we're crypto maniacs. And the information that we give you is like an adrenaline shot with steroids. And you always leave with a triple shot cappuccino. All right, but before we get into that beautiful hodl chart, let's talk about something we told you about since February 8th. We told you that we had a standing order on our broker of choice, BTCC, for a large swing trade. On that date back in time, right around here, we knew that we had some resistance up in this area here of 72, 73. And lo and behold, it's still holding right now. We took a short originally on this trade. We got long again at 63,500. I'm going to take you over to BTCC, show you that trade. BTCC, low fees, fast execution, excellent fills. Trade is now worth 16,140. We are not really interested. We're not panic merchants. We don't say, oh, let's take the 16,000 to 18. We were up as high as like 23, 24,000 with this trade. We are looking to make over $180,000 with this trade. If you want to get in on the drama, get into our pro group. We're running at we're running at huge speed right now. We're running with a lot of profits right now. We've over doubled our account in about 3 months. Okay, so I'll take you over to Profits Precision Dashboard. I could show you exactly what we're doing, but everything we're doing is inside our free pro group. I'll say it again. It's a free pro group. I don't know what you're doing. So hang on one second. Let me take you over to that dashboard. We started this account 3 months ago at $150,000. Right now, it's worth $315,426. Win rate 60.34. Now, this is where you could actually prove that really a win rate. Like somebody says they got a 90% win rate, but yet they're only making like nothing on each trade. It just goes to show you that money management is king, and like we're really good with money management. As you can see, we take some trades, we lose 600, and we make 8,000, 5,000, 5,000, lose 700. I make 295, down 7, up 14. Okay, this is why our account has tripled in about 3 months. So I implore you, if you're interested in trade setups and you want some help, as I said, you can't beat the price. The price is free. All right, let's get back into Bitcoin. Let's talk about what I'm talking about on this open. Another, Moon Boy prediction again by Tom. Meanwhile, other people say, oh, we're always wrong, but we did double our account in 3 months. So we can't always be wrong. I mean, really think about it, right? So anyway, let's get right into it. Some people have a hard time understanding long-term from short-term trading. Means that they're just not traders. So let me come on over to like the Bitcoin buy zone, the same playbook that we've been seeing. And here's the chart that I brought up in the beginning of the video. Now, this chart is really important because Bitcoin eventually retraces back to major moving averages, okay? And the 100 EMA on the monthly has historically been one of the most powerful levels in the marketplace for Bitcoin itself. Now, every time Bitcoin touches and holds the level, the key, every time it touches and holds the level, the next phase of the cycle begins. Not instantly, not overnight, but structurally, it's there. Now, people who understand this don't panic during corrections. They accumulate because historically, these zones are where millionaire positions are built. Now, I just showed you that we're looking for a swing trade. We're looking to make over $185,000 on a trade. We're long at 63,500. That does not mean we think it's not going any lower than 60,000. I've seen some people on the internet saying like, "Oh, 60,000 is a low. Everybody thinking it's going to 30 was wrong." That's way too early to say. Okay, and we know that. Now, we do say, okay, and I'm going to take you to a chart. We're going to show you that as long as we hold 55, 56,000, if we get another liquidity sweep down there and we hold that level, then we're on an upward trajectory for the major movement upward. But the 100 EMA acts like a macro reset level for any type of Bitcoin cycle. When prices collapse during like a bear market phase, leverage gets wiped out, weak hands capitulate, sentiment turns extremely bearish, which I see on every one of the comments that we have on our YouTubes. Whoever's watching videos these days, I mean, a lot of people have just given up. Retail basically. Well, one guy actually made a comment, it was really funny, it's actually true. Is that the reason it's not going up is because we're the only people interested. Everybody's left the marketplace. But that's true and not so true because, you got the big, ETFs that are actually accumulating. Okay, they're accumulating quietly. They're not going to say, hey, we're buying, get involved. They're going to accumulate quietly. So eventually, when price reaches the 100 EMA zone where long-term buyers are where the long-term buyers begin accumulating again. And that's where the cycle transition often begins. I'm not saying exactly, but okay, now if you look at historical examples, 215 cycle bottom, Bitcoin touched the 100 EMA zone near 200 to 300 bucks. That zone launched the run to 20,000 in 2017. Can you imagine 200 to 300? My God. Anyway. In 2019, we had a reset. Bitcoin retraced into the 100 EMA region again after the 2018 bear market. From there, the market eventually moved into the 2021 bull cycle. 2020 COVID crash. Bitcoin briefly wicked toward the same long-term average. And then within a year, the market ran from like, what was it, 4K to 70,000? So the reason this level works is psychology and capital structure, okay? At that stage, retail has already sold. We're seeing it now. We don't have anybody left in retail. We're seeing it. Leverage has finally been flushed. There's leverage. I don't know. I wrote that, but I kind of look and go, there's still some liquidity on the lower side to grab. Definitely, upper side liquidity. Oh, it's all for the taking, right? That's basically where all the shorts are. Long-term investors have been accumulating. I've been hearing that. I've been seeing it. We've talked to our whales that are really good, holders, and they basically not afraid of anything right now. So they're long. So the downside becomes limited. The upside becomes exponential. Now, the majority of Bitcoin millionaires weren't made chasing green candles. They were made when price touched long-term structure that most people were afraid of. That's the key, man. It's basically, look at the structure, take your shot, right? I mean, that's what you got to do. Of course, you don't bet the house on it. You do dollar cost averaging that we've been talking about. All right, let's get into the 4-hour chart and talk about where Bitcoin is right now and where potentially what it has to do. So really, Bitcoin is coiling, and we said it yesterday that really there was support at 68,000, right around here, 68,000 even, you could say. Market has not actually even reached down there. It's just basically sitting in between, let's say, 72,000 and 68,000 right now. So when the coiling structure continues, it's building pressure, right? If we can get the breakthrough 72, we're most likely going to run to 75, 74. Now, we all know what we got to get through in order to shake this weakness off. I'm going to get into that in a second. But I'm going to take you to another chart where I'm going to show you something that really matters. Is this the chart that I want? Let me see. No, that's the high range chart. Here it is. This is the chart I want. All right, like right here. All right. Let me refresh this chart. I think I'm missing something on my RSI. I knew it. I was missing my little green circles. Okay, right here. All right, so we're looking at this chart. Okay, now this pattern basically is showing us. I want to take you down. Right now we have the low at say 60,000, right? But I want you to come down to this lower wedge right in here where we had the breakout. Okay, what we're looking at right now is 55, 56,000. We can even stretch it down to, let's say, because this is a weekly chart, we can stretch to like 53. Let's go 50,000. Okay, 50 to 55,000. That's the level that needs to hold. Now, this chart is basically saying that if we can hold, say, let's just use an arbitrary number of 56,000, the structure stays intact. That opens the door for potential rally that could eventually push to 140,000. Why? Because markets move in expansion phases. And once Bitcoin reclaims key structure, everybody's going to come into this thing again. They're going to flood the market again because they're going to have the fear of missing out, and they're going to be chasing green candles. Meanwhile, people that are, that like we're telling our whales and also telling you guys, do some dollar cost averaging. If you don't know where to do it, what do you got to do? Get in our free pro group. We'll tell you where to do it. So momentum builds very quickly in Bitcoin, but that support down there has to hold. Now, we're going to show you that Bitcoin is attacking the 200 EMA that's above current prices right now. And that's an important level, man. That's an important level to recapture. Before I move on to that, I just want to show you that here is this, what I just showed you, right? I want to take you over to how it corresponds to that bad boy. All right, so these are your dollar cost averaging zones. This is, everybody wants to buy when we're up here, right? They don't want to buy when we're down here. That's just that's just, psychology. But that's basically, this chart is actually showing you that, this is the time to really consider doing some dollar cost averaging, of course, within your means. Now, I want to show you, where's that 200 EMA? Let me find that chart for you. Now, this is the 200 EMA on the 4-hour chart, okay? The reason why we're even using it is because it's a good indication. If we can get back above, we crawl above this and hold it, all right, in the short term, even institutions look at short-term levels because short-term levels do lead to long-term levels. So if Bitcoin breaks and holds above it, it's basically showing some strength that it could eventually attack the most important level that we got right now. And I'm going to take you to that chart in a second. However, a rejection here means that there's more consolidation and potential even deeper liquidity sweep. So this, even on the 4-hour, is a key battle zone right now for good old Bitcoin. But the most important price is what? It's the 78,000. This is like our star chart right here. This is like the best of chart that we got going. We need to break 77,000. Okay. There's massive liquidity above it. If it breaks and holds it, the market could move aggressively higher. Where? Well, first to 81,000 and then potentially to like 84, 85,000. But if Bitcoin fails to break and stay above this level, then the market likely goes lower to grab more liquidity on the downside as fuel. We know markets don't move randomly. They move towards liquidity. All right. So before we move on, if you are trading anywhere within 10, 20, 50, 100,000, 200,000, $1 million account, your approach cannot look like retail. You got to understand liquidity grabs. You got to understand where the order blocks are. And you got to understand that, a lot of times markets move in a head fake direction downward. Now, we've showed you this chart before. This is a chart that we brought up with our our whales. Okay. We gave them the option. We said get long at 63. You could escape at 73. And we're actually saying you can reaccumulate now. All right. So look, your approach cannot look like retail, size, demand, structure. If you're totally emotional and you're trading scale, it's going to be very expensive and it's going to be very demeaning. That's exactly why our whale group exists. Inside the whale group, we don't chase green candles. We stalk liquidity. We plan campaigns. Now, if Bitcoin breaks 77, 78,000, we're already in. If it doesn't, if the market's looking to sweep liquidity, first, we'll know exactly what to do. So there's no guessing. There's only structure. So if you're serious about trading big capital, you already know the difference. Let's move light capital. The link is in the description. I'll show you how to get there in a moment. All right, we're going to be moving on to Ethereum. All right, Ethereum finally crawling above 2050. That's the level. That's a really important level. The only way it really shakes off this level that's been to and fro for quite a while is to get above 2,000, like 200. That's a really important level because then it could rally up to really 2,300. But that would actually shake off the weakness of this marketplace. So as it stands right now, the most important level you got right now is 2,050. You're only about $19 above it right now, so it's really kind of close. We're not out of the woods yet. If we could score above, break through like the 2,200 defensive line in Ethereum is actually showing some strength. If we lose this, okay, so when we're drifting back down towards, I would say, right there, 1,950. Okay, if we lose that, we're going to try to attempt the 1900. Really, nothing is happening in Ethereum because all eyes are on Bitcoin, and nothing is happening in Bitcoin. It's been just compressing. Now, it could flip in either direction, right? We know that markets can do that. They just go towards liquidity. There's plenty of liquidity upside and downside on both of these assets. So, if you really look at Ethereum, we said it before, without the benefit of hindsight, without the benefit of like looking back and going, oh, I nailed the perfect entry, which is just in your dreams. If you look at it, you really can't go along with doing some dollar cost averaging at these levels. I mean, Ethereum is sitting near 5-year lows in a consolidation range. Think about that. 5 years of compression, 5 years of accumulation. Markets store energy like this before major expansions. Now, could Ethereum go lower? Yes. Okay. It's always possible. But historically, any dips below in this high time frame range tends to get scooped up rather quickly. So long-term investors understand something. Consolidation usually resolves in an upward fashion as long as it's a bullish type of tone to the asset. We've talked about Ethereum ad nauseum, how it's the rails, man. It's important. Ethereum is just not some, Great Shakes Corporation meme coin. It's not. It's one of the most important assets that we got. All right. Before we get into Bitcoin dominance and our close, how do you join our pro group? Real simple. Link is in the description of every one of our videos. Right here, you click this link, you'll be taken over to our pro trading community. All you whales, you get into our whale group from that link as well. If you are like a lone wolf trader, we offer 2 outstanding brokers: WEX, low fees, fast execution, and of course BTCC, where they're actually hosting our trading tournament. So for all you noisemakers, you click this link, you'll be taken over to our trading tournament, where you're going to show us you got what it takes. And really, we offer some decent prizes, but forget about the prizes. Really, what you want is access to the whale group, opportunities for over-the-counter deals, access to investor accounts. That's what you want. You don't care about like a MacBook. I mean, you can make millions trading. What do you need a $2,000 MacBook for? You'll be able to buy 10 of them. All right. So anyway, remember, if you join in through our brokers through our link, you get some really outstanding bonuses. All right, let's talk about Bitcoin dominance. I wonder if I have my chart right there. Yeah, that's my Bitcoin dominance chart. Taking forever to load up. And Bitcoin dominance unchanged. So therefore, same old story as yesterday. Okay, capital is still concentrated in Bitcoin. normal during uncertainty, right? We got a lot of stuff going on in the world. Hopefully that war ends rather quickly. We know that Bitcoin will move first, then Ethereum catches up, and then altcoins will start to move. But you need good altcoins. Now, I'm going to take you over to an altcoin where we chart where we got a golden cross forming. Where it's a stretch, it's a 4-hour chart, but it's forming. So alt printed a golden cross on a 4-hour chart. Look, it's the 4-hour time frame, so don't put the party hats on yet. But at least it's a bullish signal, right? So golden crosses show momentum shifting from sellers to buyers. And now it's a 4-hour chart, so that momentum's got to continue for at least a week. Okay, then we can say a weekly golden cross. But if that momentum continues, we could start seeing some capital rotate into altcoins again. But remember, it's a 4-hour chart. All right, as we close up, remember markets move in cycles, fear, right, plus disbelief, then expansion. So what do you got to do? You got to come over to X and follow us on X, because where we talk about Bitcoin, crypto all day, every day. What else you got to do? Well, you got to do your own research. As you know, I'm a trader just like you, and I do not offer any type of financial advice. And what else you got to do? Well, you got to join our pro group. Hey, for all you noisemakers that say that you got a better way, please show us. Okay, please show us the better way. I got to go back over here where I lost myself. So again, all you noisemakers, join the trading competition. What else you got to do? Well, you definitely got to trade with your head not over it. And as a short-term trader, you got to enjoy the party, but dance near the door. I will see you tomorrow. Leave some comments for me. I read all of them. I appreciate them. Even the negative ones. I love it. I love it. All right. See you tomorrow. Cheers.